Every mind that exists is looking for purpose. Now what you have to remember as this mind, because it's mind that's speaking, only mind can project, communicate and verbally make up some sort of process. So this mind is very mindful that it cannot teach another mind. It cannot have any real effect on any other mind. So therefore, what is taking place is a mind verbalizing through a non-action, meaning the ego is not trying to get, give, take, assist, and help another mind into a reflective process that this ego mind had to surrender to allow the non-affecting mind to come through. So if any of these words are affecting your mind, it is only affecting your ego mind. We are all one universal pure mind initially, but we take on apps, we take on lovely little ways, methods, cultural information. We take on identities and words, and each one of us each mind is taking on a different vocabulary. Every single mind is different in an ego sense. So to sit down for a group of, I don't know what you call these people, politicians or army people or beyond that, with an ego state of mind, trying to gain something or trying to give something, is just a complete ineffective way of solving anything. Because ego has a task in mind. It has something to fix, or has something to improve, or has something to destroy. It is the coming and going action of ego that creates what we call war and peace. See, ego is not necessarily here trying to create war, it's trying to create peace. But within the peace, it creates war. Because it's billions of minds. It starts with a table full of minds trying to understand the best way to maintain peace or create peace. So all ego minds will have different ways of seeing this. So all of this is based on this ego mind. When it disappeared, the pure mind says there's nothing you can do, because there's nothing to do, in the sense that in this body world there's nothing to do. There's nothing to solve or create or improve. There's nothing to maintain. Life is maintaining the body on its own. Life is constructing and destructing this body at the same time. It's taking the bad bits out, hopefully, and putting good bits in. And these good bits, they become bad bits, and they're taken out, and so. And this is the same story as ego mind. But pure mind in itself never changes. It's always maintaining itself with no effort. Complete effortlessness. To say I have a purpose, then, is to discover through a dissolution of the ego, because the ego will take it onto billions of purposes. Billions of human purposes, billions of being purposes, billions of good purposes, bad purposes, excellent purposes, depressing purposes. To see through ego means the purpose is revealed. And the purpose was to get through ego. But to say the speaker went through ego through many countless videos before in a specific process is of no use to you. We're each trying to find the door that most enlightened, true enlightened beings see or experience or realize into the place where we're all one. But the door is not the same door for everyone. The door is the door of ego closing and opening at the same time. Because when you pull the door has been shut. There's no way you can see through. There's no way you know what's one or whole. But when you pull the door is moving, ego, and it's going over there. But the door will never be disconnected from the hinges. And that's the fear. That was the greatest fear for this one. If I surrender and give up and just lie down and not associate or attach or believe or hope in anything, then my door will be taken away and thrown and I will be dead. Because without my door, without my ego, I cannot associate and fit into this world of doors. Countless doors. And you know the expression, when one door is opening, one door is closing. Ego is always moving, changing, in and out. Opening, closing, opening, closing. But it's never disconnected from the hinges. And the Hindus use what this body experienced as absolute truth. When the hinges in this door is the umbilical cord that is hidden within, that is within this body, but is coming out the root of this body and into that what they call Vishnu state. You can, whilst you're in a body, you can disassociate, detach, become pure being, non-dual, enlightened, but you will never be disconnected from the umbilical cord, from the hinges. Because it's not possible. Because consciousness is not a disconnected source. Within it, it appears to be changing. It appears to be moving. It appears to be essential. Essence of being. Essence of thinking. And being and human appear as if they're going through a stopping and starting process. I'm a human right now, and at night I'll be being, because there'll be emptiness, there'll be deep sleep. But these are simultaneously things happening at the same time. But the mind can only associate with one. Are you awake or asleep? I'm awake. At night, it says, consciousness says, are you awake or asleep? I'm asleep. There's no one speaking it, but sleep knows it's sleeping. Wakefulness knows it's awake. So it's very wrong for this being, every like mind is of a different quality. Some become teachers, some become gurus, some become saints. This mind is just consciousness. The transcendence between human being, meaning form, something, space, nothing, because human is an actual thing, an object. Being is the experience, being, like swimming, like walking, into being human, meaning the experience becoming human. There's no difference, really. Human is experiencing, and experiencing is experiencing human. The transcendence of these two worlds, these two states, that are the same state, life, is that there's no longer an association with this being, human being, but this being, human consciousness, being. Human consciousness is place within consciousness, within whole consciousness. So when you transcend human consciousness, you become another quality of consciousness. But your mind cannot associate with a name to identify the quality of consciousness you are, like it does in the Bhagavad Gita. So you cannot say, I am now cosmic consciousness, because the body is still human, and the body is still experiencing being. So there's a recognition within that whatever one is consciousness. And that's all. With an association or a hinge door connected to this consciousness is still connected to this body. It's also connected to this mind, and it's also connected to this ego. But when this body goes, when this mind goes, when this ego goes for good, the hinges of the door remain. But the door moves the other way. It's not a pull door now, it's a push door. So you're on the other side, but in a whole different consciousness. Therefore you have experienced your purpose, or this one has experienced its purpose, to transcend human being into whatever type of consciousness that is awaiting on the other side. Consciousness is all that exists. Consciousness has billions of doors. Each one will have to go through each door as whatever we appear as. Life is making this body up on its own, is it not? We're not getting up in the morning and saying, okay, I need some, I don't know the medical terms, these type of blood cells, okay, I need some of these blood types. You're eating your nutritional and your atmospheric, your conscious, the condition of the world, the condition of the universe is creating your body. It's also breaking your body up to suit as long as it a lifetime that it can maintain, because it wants to maintain as long a lifetime as it possibly can. Not you. Life is trying to maintain every body, every living molecule, atom. But it knows it's not going to die. The molecules and atoms don't die. When this body appears to be no longer breathing, the atoms and molecules will move on. That what one is inside will transcend that what one has experienced through a purpose, through solving the clue, solving the task that was here to be solved. There's nothing anyone can do, well, nothing this one can do to help you on your journey. But your journey, if you're watching this, was meant to be, I'm watching this. I don't know why. It must be something to do with me. That's what you're saying. I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a purpose. And a human stops the reason and purpose by saying, oh, I found my purpose. I'm a joiner. I'm a lawyer. I'm a father. And that's great if that's your only door that you're going through in this life. That's your only purpose. So we're not all looking for the same door or the same quality of door. We have billions of doors to transcend. It's not a beginning and end product of consciousness. It is an always here product. Infinite. Boundless. Each door you go through, you go beyond. Are you going forward or backward? It matters not. Because you're going to be taken to the right place every time. If you simply trust, accept, and have faith that something is showing you your purpose. And it's not out there. Out there may be a part of it. Meaning, if you're journeying on a boat, the boat is your purpose. You're going to go through ocean. You're going to go through hills. Whatever the boat sails into, you're going to see and experience. But the things that you see and experience may not be the purpose for you, but they may be the purpose for you. It's a mystical, magical tour of just being present, being aware. But not everyone will wake up to whatever this speaker has woken up to. In fact, no one will wake up to what the speaker has woken up to. Because we're all on individual, unique journeys. That is why you have to be mindful to say, I'm not pointing at you to say this is my way, is the way that you should do it. I'm pointing at you because you know your way. You are the way. And Christ was always pointing at you and me and everyone else. He wasn't pointing at himself saying, I am the way. He was saying, take the words and use the words. So therefore you see through this ego Christ figure, which I'm not blasphemizing, because he's another beautiful, extremely important human being. And an extremely important consciousness, appearing in an extremely important consciousness for Christ. So he's saying the words for anyone that wants to taste the same consciousness as Christ consciousness. Through me, I am is the way. That's the words, you see. He's pointing at you to say, here's the words, take them, they're yours. I trust in you, I have faith in you, and I accept that you will transcend into Christ consciousness. So we're not here to therefore then say, I am Christ consciousness, because how can you know? How can your projected ego state mind say, I am Christ consciousness? Because these are words and identities towards a beautiful source of energy, a beautiful source of love, a beautiful source of peace, whatever you want to call it. So you have to, the teachers are very mindful. If you're going to a satsang for a particular guru, and you think you're going to replicate that guru's process, that guru's way, that guru's guidance, you're mistaken. You're going to become one with the guru, but you're not going to go through the same door as the guru. I don't know if you get that. If you imagine a big hall, emptiness, and there's billions of doors, the journey to your door may be on hills. The journey to the next person's door may be in a boat. The journey to the next person's door may be flying. The journey to the next person's door may be walking backwards. You know, it's a circus outside. Well, this is a circus. But when we all go through the doors, we all realize, oh my God, we were always the same door. It was always leading to the same place. And I've never been out of this place. I'm looking from the inside out at the circus.